Well, the situation in our house has been rather strange lately. We started out with 5 cats when I came in a couple years ago. Lacey died. She died in my arms. I buried her. Or Randy buried her. Peaches ran away, we think. He hasn't been around since the beginning of summer. I think one of the neighbors might have taken him, or one of the wild animals got him. The coyotes were out howling tonight, so I thought maybe that's what happened to the cat. This coyotes got her. Well, Mama and Mars are close. Venus hates Mars. Um, Venus is kind of a lone ranger in this thing. She hangs around by herself. She doesn't like guys. I think she's kind of a lesbian. I don't know, maybe. I think that's my problem too. So anyway, make a long story short, is at least one of the cats came home. So I know they're not AWOL. And I know they're not gone. They're still out there. This area out here is kind of rough on animals. You've got eagles. They fly around. They follow you home. Especially if you feed them. We fed them at the park. So they come over. Uh, Randy was telling me a story about the eagles that were killing the deer and all kinds of other wildlife back over there in Utah somewhere. One of the game preserves out there. I got a feeling it's off that 191. I used to have to drive down there when I was working for DAC Air, and I got a herd one night. I had a deer stab the truck. The fender turn around, bounce off. The story went, I killed Bambi. There was a like, what? Oh, I was telling Yancy this story. Yeah, I just took out Bambi. Well, I just took out Thumper. What? Dinah goes, Thumper's a rabbit. Bambi's a deer. So they were already accusing me of stuff and everything. So anyway, I told him the story about the game preserve. How I went in there. It took me 6, 7 hours to get out of there. It got so windy. I was telling Dave. I said, Dave, I can't drive in this. This is just once you want your truck on the side of the road, you should probably pull me over. Tell me to take a break somewhere. He said, no, once you're almost out of it, you got another 20 miles to get out of the county. I said, yeah, what's going to happen within that 20 miles? Anyway, I got out of the canyon and I got home. And the story went that I was in the game preserve and I was running 5, 10, 15 miles an hour to get around all these elk, deer, and everything else that went to the game preserve for shelter. They all come down from the mountains. There was no deer in there. There was nothing out there to shoot. They're all down to that game preserve. And I'm running 15, 25, brought up to 35. Bambi was an elk. Bambi came up around, got on the hill like he was going to take off, and then turned around and looked at me, and he went straight for bullseye for the fender. He stabs the fender with the truck, fans with his elk with his horns to the truck of the fender, bounces off and runs away. So I didn't kill Bambi. I didn't kill Thumper either. Thumper came by. It was in Wyoming. This frozen day. It was like probably 10 below out there. Colder than a mother for a rabbit to be out there. Something was chasing him, so Thumper's come running down this hill. And he sees the truck, he hits the brakes. I'm doing maybe 25. He bounces up with his claws, bounces off the tire, scampers around the back, takes off up the hill again. So I didn't kill Thumper either. But the porcupine committed suicide. I was on the phone with Tom and I was talking to him. And this porcupine, 3:30 in the morning, dry roads. I was running about 50, 60 miles an hour. He come up, he started walking up in front of me. I had slowed down for him. The truck went 68. Walking up in front of me. He looks over, looks at the tire, and turns. Runs right into it. Bump. I'm crying. I just ran over a porcupine. Oh, it was funny because a little while ago I was in one of the meetings. It was Crete that I was working for. I got along with them until I got my insurance. Once I got my insurance, they were jerks to me. And anyway, what had happened was I was at the gas station. I filled up, pulled the handle out. I put it up on the thing up there. I went in the back for something. I came out. The guy had put the handle back into the thing. I didn't double check it. I pulled it. It came off. Ever since that happened, they treated me like shit. I mean, they treated me as one of the top drivers. I was pulling more hours or more miles than most of them, and then they shit on me after that. It wasn't my fault. I told them what happened. They said watch the video. Well, obviously they didn't. Well, the guy obviously told a different story. So I ended up leaving the company. Um, I had an ultrasound done. Something else happened along the way there, and I went to Dakar after that. It was really good, but the route was just I don't know. I was getting bored with the route. The hours were terrible. I had 4 days that I or 5 days that I worked. I didn't get home until late the last day, and I had 34 hours off. And Candy and I were fighting and everything else, and I didn't want to be there, and I wanted to get into a different position. So I went to from there to Prime. I think after that, which wasn't any better. I should have never went to Prime. And you know how they treated me. But anyway, I worked there 8 years, and I left because of a situation that was out of my control over stupid training, which was Sean Hennessy, who was actually Sean Adams. I wonder if Sean Adams is still alive. I'm going to look him up. His sister, man, that girl she's like Alice in Wonderland. Now, I ran into Alice Wonderland again. I wonder if the same girl. She showed up on my Facebook page, and she was selling contracts on something. I forgot what it was. I didn't bother to look. I said, I bet you she's selling loans again. But she just calls herself Alice Wonderland. Not because well, I'll just take up the name. Yeah, amazing, huh? It was supposed to be a joke, is what it was. It's what after the loan I had from them, they were Advantage Solutions, then they went to Advantage America, and George was his name, George Wilson. I don't even think that's his real name. But anyway, he seemed to be like a decent person and everything else, so I took the loan. She put $1,000 down, and she was going to give me the other 4,000. We're going to go to Walmart and then take the cards and give it back to her. And I didn't do that. No, she was just throwing a damn fit and everything else. She actually threatened me. I said, well, I would try to threaten me if I was you. I'm a Fed. So I did an investigation on her and found out that she had a reputation of making assets disappear. So I think what they were going to do is give me the money. I didn't change my account information, and then I lost my bank with the Bank of Colorado because of this loan. And they blamed it on me, called it fraudulent. First she said she was going to close the account, then she was going to give me another one. And then she decided they weren't going to give me another account because my account stuff was fraudulent. I'm like, wait a second. I ain't doing anything anybody else isn't doing. And you guys can't blame me because you have a problem with somebody who's ran into a bad bank. It's not my fault. I turned the money back in. It came out of my Affordable Cares Act, which, by the way, the whole $26,000 disappeared. So I imagine who got a hold of that. She's still working. Anyway, I don't think she's going to be around too much longer. I think they're going to arrest her pretty soon. I think she's barely getting away with this. Sooner or later, she's going to get caught. It's like the Democrats. All them shootings and everything else over the last few years have all been from Dems. Now, what they were saying is, you don't need to take guns away from everybody. Just keep them away from the Democrats, because they're the ones shooting the place up. So they know how to get around stuff. They have these people go out and commit these crimes and buy them the guns. Like I said, Congress was doing it from the beginning. Gotta figure that one out. Oh, anyway, I find it kind of funny that my imposter sister, my sister's gone, and there's not a death certificate on her, but there is accounts of this girl impostoring her. A lot of them, like 5 or 6 already. Who is she? Is she her? Oh, yeah. That's what do they call those? Credit bureaus were saying. So she's been accused of it before. Now, my friend who went down to Vegas who was sick, and the other one I can't get a hold of. Well, I'm gonna get on Facebook and see if she's around tonight. They she said she was sick. I told Randy and I told the neighbor. I said, I think my friend died. She might have, but she's back home now, and she's having a rough time of it still. And she was wondering why Leslie was trying to figure out what I was saying when I was talking. She wondered if I was talking about her. Why would she even care? My sister didn't go around wondering why I was talking, what I was saying when I was talking, but this other girl does. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Actually, kind of fries her in that. So I'm gonna try to pull a few $100,000 tomorrow. I've got the people that I'm going to work with on a turbo debt thing. I'm going to go ahead and do that. September, I get my Social Security, so I'm collecting it early. I figure I'll use that to get some other things going, and that will help out a little bit. Um, there's been several housing things. I wanted to do that thing with Lee Arnold and have them run their service with me. He hasn't given it to me yet, but I figure he might. But if he does, I'll go ahead. If he doesn't, I'll go ahead and start that because I know I can make some pretty good money off of that. And I'm going to sell my parents' house. So I'm going to pull my 1573, my 1864, and I'm going to pull my bigger ones later on. I'm going to get online first. But they're pissing me off. I mean, if they don't do what they're supposed to as a bank, I'm going to sue them. I'll take them straight up to federal court. Say this is what these guys are doing, and everything else, and I'll find someone from the White House or somebody from an organization that will work for me. Yeah, there's a lot that will. I just don't know where they're at yet. I know I'm going to take Ameritrade to court pretty soon too. So I'm thinking that I'm going to get all my tax returns done. I'm going to do that, and then I should get the money for that. That's 17, and then I'll probably get the 15 out of Ameritrade because they're going to have to either give me my account or they're going to have to sell it to me. One or the other. But I don't think they want to go to court. They know they're going to lose. It's kind of like the car deal. So I'll pay off the car. I'll pay off those stupid accounts that I have and everything else and close them all and not do business with them people anymore. And I might go to Wells Fargo because I know it's not their fault, but I think I know who did it. Um, the guy over there at Union Bank, I might arrest him. I'm so pissed off that he did what he did. He just freaked when I mentioned fraud. I wasn't even talking about them. I was talking about Wells Fargo. He shouldn't have done that either. We'll see what happens. I think I'll probably keep them. But the other two, Chase and Capital One, I don't want nothing to do with them anymore. Something happened over there. It just wasn't right. The guy's name over there next door to me, in my apartment, was named Chase. I didn't know his first name, but they call him Chase. Yeah. He was the one that got into my apartment. What was there? The trust deed, all that other stuff. I don't know where he's at now. Can't find a lot of them people, but a lot of those names were just aliases anyway of stuff that they were doing and all that other stuff. Yeah, she probably should have wanted to know what I was doing, but either way, you know, I'm not gonna do anything when I do that. I might arrest her too. But I'm getting sick of people posturing themselves. This is like the third or fourth one. The first one was Christina Venezuela. She lasted about a year. Then this other girl showed up. I didn't never got to get her know her name, but I knew where she lived. She lived over by that uh, amusement park over there, and uh, the one that you could come by off the 5 over there from San Diego to Riverside. There's a big park out there that she was part of. She, well, her and Christina liked the Mustangs. Now, when Mark come around, he liked the Chargers, which was a little bit better of a car. It was back then. I don't know if it is now or not. That's why they had all of the Chargers running around. You know that story too. Yeah, I can't believe he's gone. I mean, just a short time ago too. All them people that did all that, most of them are gone. The government, took them all out, which is scary. But they were part of a group that probably shouldn't have been doing some of the stuff that they were doing. Yeah, they were making money and everything else, but they were also, self-destructing like Husty. Well, Husty was part of that group, or whoever she was. My sister, I don't know what happened to her, but she visited me after she left. That's why I know she was gone. Now, my friends seem to think that that could happen in a dream. No, I'm not going to get through the story. I'm not going to tell the story. But anyway, I've told it a couple times. But anyway, it's just been kind of an interesting week. So, like I say, I'm going to have to call Hill and Holmes and get that deposit number. If they don't give it to me, I'm going to tell them to sell the house. To not rent it out. They say I don't have any authority, that my sister's still running the thing. I'm going to say I'm proving that she's an imposter. I filed a report on the FBI already, which I have. I'm going to file another one. And I'm going to go after my accounts. So the only way it can go is my direction. They're going to have to, when I do that, they're going to have to give me a PIN number for my accounts again. And I'll get the records. I'll take the stuff to Ameritrade. I'll show them the records of where the money came from. I'm going to say, okay, now either give me my accounts back or my $15,000, one or the other. Because I bought 121 shares of Walmart. I was going to be a broker. I would have made that company $500,000 already. I was doing it before the crash hit. It was a design crash, by the way. What I was going to do was I was going to put some stock in the back end of it and run it down to where when things dropped, I still didn't get hit as hard. And just run it for the day. Just do it every day. So if they put a little bit more than what you do for the buying, and you can make money off of it. It's not hard to do, but you can't sell it all at once. You have to sell about 10%. I didn't know that. I lost $75,000 because I didn't know that. Yeah, that's part of the 130,000. The rest of it was just theft. The car 65 and the account 7, and then the money from the 25,000 from Colorado. Now you know where my money that I lost it went when I was driving a truck. Like I said, 25,000 in Colorado. At least they closed down an account. The guy's name was Mike Williams. I still have a account over there at Navy Federal. If they closed it, I'm going to open up another one. If they don't offer me an account, then I'll send it to the agency and drop their fiscal score, so their net won't be as high. But I don't think they had anything against me. I think that was Mike Williams. They were using the name. He showed up at 3 different banks that I had. Now 3 of them I lost my account. Yeah, go figure. Was he really Mike Williams? No, they were using the name. Like I said, the kid apologized to me, but he never did anything with the money they took. I don't know how much it was. When I get my statements, I'm going to ask for all the statements from the very beginning of that. And what I do, I'm going to go over and look at it. I'm probably going to throw them out, but I'm going to go over and look at it and see what happened. I want to know. I'm curious. I mean, this is it's a gender identity problem, and it's a race issue. Me being an American Indian and an English brat, for one. And for two, me being, I'm not a transgender, I'm a unisex, because I was born this way. And, face it out, live the operation. And they did want to stop it, and I ended up pregnant. So that's why they're picking on me, because I'm different. Like I said, they've been trying to kill me since I was 5. I know way too much information on this, but that's what's going on in my life. I can't sleep. This is the time of the morning that I get up and I can't go back to sleep for some reason. I don't know what it is about the 3 o'clock hour. But anyway, at least she came home. I told Randy if he wanted to come home to concentrate on what they feel like and think about it. And it usually tricks him to come home. It's worked so far. The only one it has worked on is Mama. But I quit thinking about her. Cats are sensitive. Kind of like me. I know my hair is dirty. I was gonna wash it today. It's been a rough weekend. It really has. I haven't been feeling bad or anything, but just get this dream I have. I'm, a stay-at-home mom. But we have plenty of money, so I know I get what's mine out of this and everything else, and I get a loan to go ahead and pay that other stuff off. I have to pay my bills third party, so that's what I'm going to use them for. And because otherwise they just steal it. And I go to this elementary school with my daughter, and she's over there, and I'm sitting down, and the teacher was talking about math questions, and then they didn't know, the teacher got stuck, so I answered it. It happened a couple of times, and she found out later on I was right. When I'm answering these questions, she tells me to shut up. Go back to my room. Go home. So I end up waking up, and I heard Mars yelling. Mars was at the door. That's a funny dream. But anyway, yeah, they said when you're pregnant, you get some weird ones. I had another one that no, I'm not going to tell that one. That one's just kind of out there. It's not going to happen. But like my friend said, everything will work out in the end. I think this thing with the banks and bank accounts will be over here probably in the next week or two. I don't think it's going to go on much longer. I think once I get online, I'll be able to see the records and everything else if they're there. I know the accounts are still there. I think the bank's just protecting the account. but I don't think they know that if anybody's in it or not. I know somebody's been into it, or it was taxes. But the other thing I was going to do if everything fails, I was going to sell the house. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Hill and Homes in the morning and tell them that I need to go ahead and get this deposit information, and I might sell the house. I'm not going to do it yet. They've got other stuff going on. They don't need that house. And I was going to have Arnold fix it up, and then I was going to sell it to them. That was going to pay for my education with him, so I could be a realtor. And I was going to do the home income thing, the realtor stuff. And the last one I think was QuickBank. I was going to go through that other program that were going to give me a discount off QuickBank. Everything's been off my computer. Somebody's been on my computer erasing stuff because everything should stay there. Well, I got smart. I got to where I put it in different places and they can't see where it's at. But I can see it. There's two loans. One's for 32 in Sarah's name. I'm going to call him up and this is my situation. This is my name. Put it under Mrs. Stevens. I'll put female and then run it to me. And then I'll take the other one, which is a little bit less, which is in my name. So I'm changing all those accounts over to my name, and I'm going to pull probably $80,000 to $90,000 tomorrow. I'm going to fill both of my accounts on the what I have for the bank. And when I do that, these people that I get the loan for, I'm going to pay it off. So hopefully I could do it all this week. But that's what I have planned. And then I'll get my credit score back up there again. So when we buy a house, we can, buy one with a pretty decent credit history. And then I'll work on Randy's taxes after I get mine done. So think about it this way. I've been working to get this stuff going on to where I can let it fall into place. And it should fall in place in the next couple of days or so. So I'm not worried about it. And yeah, I do have a princess's bank account. it's just been a mess. And I think they're holding it for me. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. I'm probably not gonna arrest anybody. I'm probably not even gonna call them. I don't know what's gonna happen. A couple of people are supposed to show back up in our lives. Nathan and Jordan. Jordan was coming out of the courthouse. We were in an Italian restaurant somewhere, and I gave him a book of paperwork. I don't know what it was for. Might have been all the properties and stuff and everything I signed over to him. Then Nathan came over. Randy took the kids to the park. We had the three kids. And he came over and asked me why I quit seeing them. So I told him what happened. He said, yeah, I kind of figured the same thing with about the family. But he knows what his dad's doing. He's not stupid. He's just a pest. At that point, he was old. I was still the same I am now. Yeah, it's another sad thing. I don't age. I don't get it. Well, I know I'm different, but I just don't know what. Like when my friend Emil was around, he's not around anymore. I think he's another one that's in a nursing home on his deathbed. But he said when he told me he was Homeland Security, I thought he was just department manager. He investigated me. He said, I don't know what you were out there, but you were something. Like, what does that mean? In other words, he found my records. I thought him and I were going to date. I was going to join Homeland Security about the time he was around. He said they're all in Texas. If they would have been in Colorado, I would have probably hooked up with them. Like I said, I think any one of these organizations would love to have me. NASA sent me an application for a training position. I thought that was funny. I called them up and asked them if they had anything for me. They said no. I was talking about it, money wise and stuff. So if I get everything else done, I probably am still going to sell the house. I don't know why I don't want it, but I want to know if that motorhome is up there too. The motorhome's up there. It's my parents', and I'll take it over here, park it. Dad was going to give it to me, but I gave it to Lee because he had the kids. I should have realized Lee and Leslie had plenty of money. I should have taken that motorhome. Dad said you could live in it. But then again, I would have been living in the motorhome by myself. I would have never met Randy. I would have been doing something different. I probably wouldn't have been driving a truck anymore. I probably would have been a car mechanic or something somewhere. Or even maybe working over there in one of the trucking companies I worked at. Anyway, this is another 30 minutes of BS from Sarah Lee. So, anyway, guys, have a good day. And I hope this entertains somebody. I don't know. I get these talks. Sometimes nobody listens to them. Sometimes they just, go viral. My first day I ran stuff, I ran 28 hours. And now I can't seem to get any time off. I get like a point here, a point here, a point here. I'm trying to be a part. That's one of the things I wanted to do, but it's not going to happen this year. It might happen next year. As I get enough songs and everything else out. And between my talking, my music and stuff, I ought to do pretty good. So I know I'm going to get this going. I'm going to get my SSI and everything else. And tomorrow I'm going to pull the money. If I get half of what I plan on, I'll settle for that. I should get all of it. I should get my bank account. If the money disappeared, they're going to have to give it back to me. Why? Because it's mine. It's not theirs. So somebody's going to do everything they can to keep me out of that. But when I get to the higher ups and everything, it's all going to stop. They're going to look at those accounts and go, yep, it's yours. Probably going to want a percentage of it, but they're going to have to pull everything. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can use this company tomorrow, have them do everything. That's the game plan. God, I've been talking for 35 minutes. Well, peace out. Have a nice day. I'm going to post this later.